Welcome to Indieformer, your hub for everything indie. Today we're going through the top 3 early access games that released this August. But there's one game I wanted to mention before we get into the list.
We live as we dream, alone.
Gotcha. Trapped in the Amazonian rainforest with no food or equipment, you need to learn from the ground up real survival techniques to survive this green hell. There are a few games that look similar to this, one being The Forest. Games like this come and go, but what caught my attention was the trailer. Developer Creepy Jar has put some serious work into it, giving the character a voice and a story. Green Hell's story emphasizes psychological aspects of survival in extreme conditions. The unique space of the Amazonian rainforest has a dynamically changing environment with mammals, reptiles, bugs, birds, you name it. I can't tell you why you're in this situation because that's the story, figuring out how you got there. It's launching on the 29th of August for $19.99 and is planned to increase once fully released. I just wanted to mention this because I think it has potential and might be something to keep on your radar. But now, let's get into the best from August.
Across the oceans, across the seas, over forests of blackened trees.
A game that we covered 4 years ago on Kickstarter. I was amazed at the idea they put forward and remember thinking that this was going to be awesome. Today, however, there's a lot of competition in this singular world you can see all at once genre. But still, the Universe Sim is unique in what it's selling. What I'd call a mixture of The Sims and SimCity, this game has you control a planet with creatures called nuggets, who age, get hungry, go to school, the works. But you also need to make sure that buildings are properly provided with the necessary resources like power and water. Definitely not as complex as either comparative game, but certainly borrows from both. I was fortunate enough to be given access to the alpha before this is released on early access August 28th. One thing I can say for sure is if you're looking at this game expecting a quick finish, you'll be disappointed. In the limited playtime I had, it took me a few hours just to complete the Stone Age, which is where the alpha finished. You watch your community of nuggets expand and evolve organically. You assign them a job, and as they push daisies, another nugget is shoved into their role. They hunt for their own food, build their own homes. So as God, you just put in the major buildings and assign a nugget. Then it's forever managed by the community. There was one moment in this game where I thought, oh wow, that's cool. I saw my nuggets building something on their own. A prayer shrine. I clicked on it, and it's a place where nuggets can go and pray and speak to you directly in the form of God mail. Very Bruce Almighty. But they give you tasks like trying to find their lost child through the planet that you manage. There's obviously issues with this build, like when I found the child I had no idea how to return them, so they dropped dead in front of me. Seeing which buildings can be upgraded can be difficult because the signs that mark them are sometimes behind terrain, and the night mode can be frustrating to work with. There are some other minor issues too, but I know that the early access build will be a further update than what I played, so I'm sure many of these issues have been fixed. But even with that, this game has a lot of depth, and will keep you going for hours. Crytevo Games currently has the Universe Sim priced at $30 on their website, but I'm not sure if that will translate across to early access. Anyone watch that show called Robo Wars? I loved watching it. Seeing what was a lot of dads and their sons fighting their homemade robots to the death with someone else who's put just as much time into theirs was just magical. Gladio Bots takes that idea and turns it virtual. You battle against other players in a robo-off. You construct the AI of your robot squad through a flowchart system. Decide when your units attack, gather resources, support each other or close in. Then improve, refine and repeat until you obliterate your opponents. You can experience this in a solo campaign mode featuring 60 missions and also in asynchronous multiplayer, meaning you can make your move, then come back to it later once your opponent has figured out theirs. If you've played Words with friends on your phone, then it's the same concept as that. But even if you want zero interaction, there's a sandbox mode where you can play as both teams so you can test your custom AI out. You can create and compete in tournaments, battle others with cross-platform multiplayer, and share an account between your mobile and Steam so you can always be playing on the go. Gladio Bots has had amazingly positive reviews, with many saying that if this sounds like your kind of game, then it probably is. The game is planned to be in early access for 3 to 6 months, and over the course of that time they want to add in new game modes, mechanics such as items, co-op multiplayer and more AI parameters. The price is expected to remain the same at full release, so this isn't something you need to immediately buy, but if you're looking for something new and competitive to play, Gladio Bots might be your fix. The programming puzzle games that come from Zachtronics have been polished works of art. TIS 100, Shenzhen IO, and Opus Magnum are their previous titles and have solidified them as the go-to developer for this subgenre of games. So if you like tinkering with code, then this is a developer to watch. Their newest game, EXO Punks, is no different to their others, but offers a new experience. To my surprise, this game had a solid story between the gaps. The year is 1997, and you have a disease called the phage. You need 1 dose of medicine a day, and it costs $700. So instead of earning the money traditionally, an AI is using your hacker abilities in exchange for a dose. Tearing through networks of banks, universities, factories, TV stations, and even your own body just so you can live. 1 hack, 1 dose. You learn to program your execution agents, known as EXOs, through a manual. Open it up in a browser of choice and learn to code. It starts off quite simple and progressively becomes harder, incorporating more actions for you to include. You can compete with your friends by running your programs directly against theirs, and even create your own puzzles for the Steam Workshop. The game is graphically sound and musically rich, which is no surprise coming from Zachtronics. It would be nice if the cutscenes were more animated, but in contrast, this is what many would refer to as a modern-day text-based game, and does a darn good job at looking like it's not. Early access can sometimes be a hit and miss, but Zachtronics always release their games in a solid and polished state for a few months before the full release. So I don't think there's much more I need to say about it for you to go and buy this. It is a niche topic, so if you're at all interested in code, then go to the link below, or at least go and watch some gameplay before you buy. EXO Punks is priced at $19.99 USD and will remain at that price come full release. That's your top 3 early access games for August 2018. If you're working on a game that's coming to early access, you can find my email in the description below. If you've got any suggestions for this series, please let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time here on Indieformer.